When a police officer's baton came down on 17-year-old Kaden Seagal, he didn't know the girl he was attacking was the daughter of action star Steven Seagal, a man whose reputation for taking down adversaries extended far beyond the screen. The brutal assault in a quiet Los Angeles suburb sparked a firestorm, exposing a pattern of police misconduct and igniting a fight for justice that would unravel an entire department. This is the story of how one officer's reckless actions against a teenager brought consequences no one saw coming. Kaden Seagal was no stranger to attention. As the youngest daughter of Steven Seagal, the martial artist and actor known for films like Under Siege and Hard to Kill, she'd grown up with cameras flashing and whispers following her. But on a warm July evening in 2023, in the suburban neighborhood of West Hills, Los Angeles, Kaden wasn't a celebrity's daughter. She was just a 17-year-old walking home from a friend's house. She wore a hoodie, her earbuds blasting her favorite playlist, unaware that her life was about to change. It was just after 9 p.m. when Officer Daniel Vargas, a 12-year veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department's West Valley Division, spotted Kaden crossing a dimly lit street. Vargas, on patrol alone, later claimed he thought she matched the description of a suspect in a nearby vandalism case, a vague report about a teenager spray painting a park bench. Without warning, he pulled his cruiser over, lights flashing, and approached Kaden. She didn't hear him at first, her music drowning out his commands. When she finally noticed him, she pulled out her earbuds, confused but cooperative. What happened next was captured on Vargas's body camera, though the footage wouldn't surface publicly for months. According to the initial police report, Kaden resisted when Vargas attempted to detain her, prompting him to use necessary force. Witnesses, however, told a different story. A neighbor, Maria Gonzalez, was watering her lawn when she saw Vargas grab Kaden's arm, twisting it behind her back. Kaden cried out, asking what she'd done wrong. Vargas didn't answer. Instead, he shoved her to the ground, his baton striking her shoulder, then her back. Gonzalez shouted for him to stop, but Vargas ignored her, delivering another blow to Kaden's head. By the time backup arrived, Kaden was unconscious, blood pooling beneath her. Paramedics rushed Kaden to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where doctors diagnosed a severe concussion, a fractured collarbone, and multiple contusions. She was admitted to the ICU, her condition critical but stable. Her mother, Kaden Seagal, was at her side within hours, her face a mask of shock and fury. Steven Seagal, filming a project overseas, caught the next flight back to Los Angeles. The hospital room was quiet, save for the beeping monitors, as the family grappled with the reality. Kaden had been brutalized by a police officer for no apparent reason. Word spread quickly. By morning, local news outlets were reporting on the incident, though they initially omitted Kaden's connection to Steven Seagal. Kaden, a former dancer and Kaden's fiercest advocate, contacted a family friend, attorney Lisa Bloom, known for taking on high-profile civil rights cases. Bloom met with the Seagals that afternoon, reviewing the limited information available. A vague police statement claiming Kaden had been non-compliant and Gonzalez's eyewitness account, which contradicted it entirely. Bloom's first move was to demand Vargas's body camera footage and the full incident report. The LAPD responded with delays, citing an ongoing internal investigation. Steven Seagal, though devastated, was not one to stay silent. Known for his tough guy persona and real-life experience as a reserve deputy sheriff in Louisiana, he had connections in law enforcement, but also a deep distrust of systemic corruption. He made a public statement on social media, revealing Kaden as his daughter and calling the attack an unprovoked assault on an innocent child. The post went viral, amassing millions of views within hours. The hashtag Justice for Kaden began trending, and protests formed outside the West Valley Police Station. Demonstrators, many of them teenagers, held signs reading "Protect our kids" and "No more police brutality." The Seagals weren't just relying on public pressure. Kaden, methodical and relentless, began gathering evidence. She reached out to neighbors, asking if anyone had security footage from that night. A homeowner across the street provided a grainy video from a doorbell camera, showing Vargas's cruiser pulling up and the officer approaching Kaden aggressively. Though the footage didn't capture the full incident, it showed no signs of Kaden resisting. Air Demetrius Jackson, a community activist who'd been following the case, connected Ernetchuya with a local advocacy group. Together, they organized a press conference outside the hospital, where Stephen spoke, his voice steady but laced with anger. "My daughter was attacked without cause," he said. "We will not rest until those responsible are held accountable." The LAPD's response was defensive. A spokesperson claimed Vargas had followed protocol, but public pressure was mounting. Bloom filed a federal lawsuit against the department, naming Vargas and alleging excessive force, racial bias. Kaden, whose mother is Mongolian, faced questions about whether her ethnicity played a role and failure to properly train officers. The lawsuit also named the LAPD's leadership, accusing them of fostering a culture of unchecked aggression. As the case gained traction, more witnesses came forward. A jogger who'd been nearby that night corroborated Gonzalez's account, stating Kaden had been compliant. A retired officer, speaking anonymously to a local reporter, revealed Vargas had a history of complaints, 6 in the past 5 years, all dismissed or unresolved. The officer hinted at a blue wall of silence within the department, where misconduct was routinely covered up. This revelation fueled public outrage, with rallies growing larger. Community leaders, including members of Black Lives Matter and Asian American advocacy groups, joined the Seagals, framing the incident as part of a broader pattern of police overreach. A breakthrough came when Bloom's team secured a court order for Vargas's body camera footage. The video, leaked to the media before the trial, was devastating. It showed Kaden raising her hands, clearly confused, as Vargas shouted conflicting commands, "Get down and don't move," before striking her. The footage contradicted the LAPD's narrative entirely. Social media exploded, with celebrities and activists amplifying the story. Kaden Seagal, leveraging his platform, appeared on national news, calling for systemic reform. "This isn't just about my daughter," he said. "It's about every kid who's been targeted unjustly." The trial began in March 2024, 9 months after the incident. The courtroom was packed, with media outlets from CNN to TMZ covering every detail. Vargas, a stocky man with a defiant posture, pleaded not guilty, claiming he feared for his safety. The prosecution, led by Bloom, presented a meticulous case. The body cam footage, witness testimonies, medical records detailing Kaden's injuries, and Vargas's history of complaints. A forensic expert testified that the force used was grossly disproportionate to any perceived threat. The defense argued Kaden's failure to comply justified Vargas's actions, but the jury was unmoved. Kaden, still recovering, testified via video link. Her voice was soft but clear as she recounted the terror of that night. "I kept asking what I did wrong," she said. "He didn't answer. He just hit me." Her testimony, coupled with the footage, left the courtroom silent. Stephen and Ernetchuya sat in the front row, their faces stoic but pained. The jury deliberated for just 4 hours before finding Vargas guilty of excessive force and assault. He was fired from the LAPD and sentenced to 3 years in prison, a rare outcome in police misconduct cases. The fallout was seismic. The LAPD faced a Department of Justice investigation, which uncovered a pattern of excessive force incidents, particularly in minority communities. The West Valley Division's leadership was overhauled, with the captain resigning and new oversight measures implemented, including mandatory de-escalation training and a civilian review board. The Seagals settled with the city for $8 million, most of which they donated to a foundation for victims of police violence, named Kaden's Voice. Kaden's recovery was slow but steady. By early 2025, she was back in school, though physical therapy was ongoing for her shoulder and migraines persisted from the head injury. She began speaking at rallies, her quiet strength inspiring others. "I don't want anyone else to go through this," she told a crowd at a Los Angeles community center. Stephen and Ernetchuya stood behind her, proud and protective. The Seagals' fight didn't end with the trial. They became advocates for police reform, working with lawmakers to push for stricter accountability measures. Stephen, once known for playing heroes on screen, became one in real life, using his platform to amplify Kaden's story. Erdenechuya, the backbone of the family, organized community forums, ensuring the conversation continued. Their efforts led to policy changes in Los Angeles, including body camera mandates and independent investigations for officer-involved incidents. Kaden's case became a touchstone for a broader movement. #Justice for Kaden remained a rallying cry, inspiring protests and reform efforts nationwide. The Seagals, once private despite their fame, became symbols of resilience, proving that even a single incident, when met with unwavering determination, could spark change. Kaden, now 19, began training in martial arts under her father's guidance, a way to reclaim her strength. "I'm not a victim," she said at a fundraiser for her foundation. "I'm a fighter." The officer's attack on Kaden Seagal was meant to intimidate to silence. Instead, it ignited a movement, exposing a department's flaws and proving that one family's courage could shake a system to its core. The Seagals didn't just win a case, they changed the conversation, ensuring that no one, not even a cop, could act without consequence.